Okay,
そんじゃま、先輩であるこの俺が直々に新人教育をしてくれよ。謹んで拝聴したまえ、モブタくん。何キョロキョロしてんだ。お前のことだって、モブタ。
They were grinded in the other game. I mean, not the other game. My last playthrough of this. This is New Game Plus, so everything I had at the end of this game, I now have again from the beginning.
何よりお前のそのモブ顔を的確に表現したつもりなんだけど。じゃあ他のを考えるか。モビー、モブサワー、モブリン、モブリビオン。
I prefer my normal name, please.
普通じゃ面白くねえと思うんだけどな。ま、こういうのは無理強いするもんでもないしな。話を戻すぜ。これはもう説明する必要ねえよな。一見何の変哲もない PC 端末に見えるが、これがこの店のログイン端末だ。板の説明をするから PC を立ち上げてみな。板ってのは掲示板のことだ。今画面に映っているのがフーディへのサイト。チームへの依頼はここに設置された掲示板に書き込まれる。いろんな奴が掲示板に書き込むが、引き受けるかどうかは俺たちの自由だ。依頼は誰が受けてもいい。受けた本人がこなしてもいいし、誰かと組んだっていい。ただし、難易度の高い依頼はチームでこなすからな。こいつについては、まず受けるかどうかの判断をリーダーのリュウジが決める。どっから頼まれてんだか知らねえけど、たまにリュウジが掲示板以外からもでかい仕事を持ってくることもあるしな。自分で言うのもなんだけど、俺たちは腕がいい。依頼内容もバリエーションに富んでるんだぜ。クラッキング対策とか、防壁構築の依頼とか、悪質なハッカーの追跡とかな。
The only downside of doing this again is like the first few chapters are so boring because they're trying to ease you into the game.
俺たちはなんでこんなことをしてるかって？まあ、理由はそれぞれだ。ハッカーのスキルを磨くためとか。俺の理由か？そうだな。世のすべての女性たちを知る。
Oh, here we go with this.
そんな何を隠そう。こうしてハッカーをしているのも、ある女の頼みを断れなかったからね。何その顔。ひょっとして右から左に聞き流してる的な。自分から質問したくせに変顔で先輩の話をスルーするとは。モブ顔のくせにやるな、この野郎。
It's in case somebody decides to play this one first.
さてと、それじゃあ習うより慣れろだ。いくつか依頼を入れといてやるから、試しに。俺はその間にリュウジとザクソンに報告に行ってくる。心配すんなって、簡単なやつにしといてやるからさ。
Oh, now we are officially on chapter 2. Let me add it. Oh, finally. I'm gonna leave for a moment. There. Yeah, everything in the old game is in this one. Like all the mechanics and stuff. This? That's the... Which one is that? I can't tell. 300 for metal! Oh boy. I better save in case I fail this. Make a commentary mine blue. Yep, this one would be the main street. It's a shame we can't speed this up. Yep. I didn't have a problem with most of the stuff in here. Just the metal part. That's about it. Ooh. Where? Nothing. They're just, it's just something to collect. They don't do anything special. You collect them and give them to a guy and he has a book that you can look through to be like, oh yeah. If you get them all, you get a trophy and special rewards depending on certain ones you give them. That's about it. It's just, there's so many of them. Like the main game had 500. This one adds another, like, I think 200 of them in. Yeah, another 200. So... And it's a game of chance also. With these machines. Because there's 30 different ones you have to get your hands on from each machine in this one. The other one, it was like, I think it was like 10. Wait, you can dual wield in Kingdom Hearts Days? What? Because I'm doing that game at the moment. It's just... ugh. It's kind of boring. But... it's boring, but it has its, like, good moments where with cutscenes. This is why I waited until New Game Plus though to do this, because number one, you're pushing 300 yen into this machine per medal. There's 30 medals, and it plays chance, so it's going to give you multiples of the same thing. And oh, it's a certain panel layout. Oh, I gotta find... Because we're doing that. I'm gonna try to do everything in that game. Even though it's probably driving me insane, but... Alright, let's see what we got so far. Okay. Uh-huh. Alphamon? Tsuzumi-mon. Okay, these four have nothing to do with me. Rhino Kabuto? What are half of these Digimon? I've never even heard of them. Volcanic Dramon. Garglemon. Yeah. I was looking at some of them and I was like, no. It's gonna be a nightmare to do most of that. King Chessmon. Generomon. Goatmon. Kabuterimon. I have no clue. I feel like the US isn't very good at translating Digimon stuff. Sometimes. I think it's different groups doing it. Jewel Beamon. Alright, butterfly line. Luckily, it's only 3 machines. And I think I have access to all of them at once. Oh. You can't use dual wielding in the main game. That's disappointing. Cause that would have helped. That would have been interesting to pull off. Rhino Kabuterimon. Alright, so we're missing 5 of them from this machine. Actually, I'm gonna... Don't push that button! I'll save here. I'll save here in case I run too low into money. Yeah. Get comfortable. We're gonna be here a moment. The thing I'm amazed about for Kingdom Hearts Days is how actually long it is. Because where I am right now, I thought I would be way further in. Because I just hit like mission 51. It's like that's only halfway now. Like I thought it'd be 3/4 of the way done the rate I was going. Apparently I'm going slower than I thought. So it'll probably be another week before I get that done. Which is fine, I guess. Guess that would be fine. Man. Come on. I just need 2 medals out of this. It was amazing that I managed to get done Final Fantasy VII so fast this month. I thought I'd be spending another week on it, but no. It's like... Didn't need to do that much grinding or anything in it in the end. Like, everything was pretty much done that I did since I was going full 100% on it. Or at least somewhat 100. I platinumed it, so that's my 100%. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you with I like Final Fantasy VII, but I'm not that crazy about it. Like, I'm not like all the hype and everything about it. It's just it's over the top. Everybody obsesses about it. It's like, first of all, like, for me, 6 is my favorite, hands down, because if you look at 6, there's a lot more dark stuff happening in that game than 7, and that's what I like. Let's not forget, the villain actually accomplished his goal. He destroyed the world in 6. And he was gonna do it again on a bigger scale, but... Oh, wait, never mind. I just remember that. Yeah. For me, it'd be 6, 9, and 4. Those are my top 3. And the thing about it is Kefka had no real goals in mind. He just wanted to destroy everything. There was no... He had no real... He never explained why. Which is even more scary. Like, Sephiroth, he just goes around talking about how he's supposed to do it because his mommy told him to, who wasn't even his real mother. Like, you find out later on, oh, if you do, like, go after Vincent's fourth limit break. You find out the actual truth if you go to do his limit break quest. So. Yeah. That's his mother. Who's dead and just comes back as a spirit. Only for it to be told, yeah, your son is actually dead. Which is better that way. So then she can move on without worrying. Because the truth is, he has been dead the whole time. All you're really... all you're really fighting is just an echo of Sephiroth. It's his will. It's not the real him anymore. That's all you're fighting in the end. It's kind of like it's kind of like I Wish I Was Alive made real. That's what he is. It's just the will to exist still and in everything. At least with, and of course, they made him look like some sort of, like when you fight him, they made him some sort of, look like some sort of god in the end. With wings and stuff. It's like, you didn't even go from the bottom up. At least with Kefka, it made more sense how he ascended to godhood. In a very maddening type way. Weird. And there's Snow Agabon. We're moving on. Yeah. Well, yeah, that is true. He is alive and avid children. It's so good. That was the one thing. That's why I can't wrap my head around 7 much. It's because it's so confusing. They made 3 games and a movie. No. 4 games and a movie because there is Before Crisis, but that's only in Japan. And it's a phone game. So it's like 4 games and a movie to explain this entire story. And it's like... And even then, I still feel so confused by it. With 6, it's like... It's cut and dry. Oh boy. Oh boy. Which one is this? Is this the intersection? This isn't the aquarium, is it? Oh. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, this is the intersection one. Oh boy. Ultimate Brontosaurus. And trust me, I've played some confusing games in my lifetime. That Bandi, no matter how many times I beat it, I couldn't like play through a story and beat it. There's some games I just couldn't wrap my head around the plot, and I'm like why? Why isn't this making sense to me? Alomon. I'm afraid, like 7 is just the worst of it I've ever had to deal with. The Chaosmon Valdor arm. So Chaosmon's arm is a Digimon itself? Is that what's going on? It's just the worst part is everyone puts Sephiroth on a high pedestal. It's like he's not that great. I've seen some villains that could completely just make him look sane. Like right now, this machine is a villain. Okay, I guess Kyoki. Guess I wrote that. Okay. The thing is, his drag story isn't that tragic. It was fine all the way up until he got to Shinra's mansion. Like, if you could pretty much say if he never went into the mansion and read all that nonsense, he drove himself insane. In the end. It's not like someone put a gun in his head. He chose to read all that nonsense and believe every bit of it. That he would, instead of like questioning or asking someone about it. Kefka, we don't know his backstory. We don't know anything about him. He just showed up in the Empire, and he was made like like the right hand of the Empire, and but the entire time he was crazy. You're not born insane. Something had to have happened to you to become that crazy, to want to destroy everything. Some people think that he was experimented on and that's what drove him into madness. He had a taste of the power and it drove him up a wall. I can accept that. Just yeah, pretty much. And the worst part is the Empire, like the Emperor and all them knew that it drove him insane. Like there was times there they had to put him on a leash or like contain him. And even then it wasn't enough. Like once you get to the floating island and the 3 statues, it's like you just see how truly mad he really is. That's why I always say if everybody, like if they put Kefka against Sephiroth, I feel like Kefka would win because his insanity would. You don't mess with insanity. Because he had nothing to lose either. Because he pretty much lost it all in his head. Now, you want to talk about real crazy villain, though? Like, final boss? What's the deal with... The one thing no one still doesn't understand it, I don't think, is... Why was Necroist the last boss fight in Final Fantasy IX? Because it just feels so out of place. Like you don't really hear you don't hear anything about this villain, about him, and then all of a sudden he just shows up. Necron, it's like what? It's like, what does this have to do with anything? It's like Necron. I feel like Necron and Ozma are just two beings that just. They don't. Why do they exist? No one explains this, really. They say a little bit about Necron, but it's still like, so why are you here? Like, are you just here to give us another fight on top of another one, like every other Final Fantasy game that exists? I can't wait. It's actually like to be honest, I've never fought Ozma, to be honest, but I've seen so many people do it, and even they question it. It's like, why does he exist? Why is there a giant floating orb that's just here? Let me see something real quick. Oh yeah, I was looking for Skull. Yep, I do have it. I figured as much. Kept seeing it, but I was not paying attention much. Yeah. So I have to. We'll be I'll be doing 8 probably in 2 months. I think, if I'm right. Yeah. In 2 months we'll be doing because next month we're doing 8. No, wait. What is oh god, what is it called? October is in 2 months, ain't it? September. Yeah. Oh. That explains why he looks like a weird. It's crazier. It's more crazy because Ozma is in M14. He's like a minor, but he's like a minor boss. But it's still cool to fight him. So we need 6 more out of this horrid of a. Yeah, I've done that though. Does that count? Does that count as fighting Ozma if I did it in 14 though? Yeah. I can't remember. I think he was in No, if I remember, he was part of the oh man, he was part of the Pirate Quest line raid in 14. If I can remember the place he was in, the Wiping City of Wipe. Yep, that's the one. Yep, the Weeping City of. Yeah. Yep, that would be the Wiping City of Wipe. Well, it ain't Wiping City anymore. No, the new one is the Lighthouse, I think it was. Yeah, the new raid is the Lighthouse for the Final Fantasy Tactics nonsensical story, which is boring as anything, I would like to say. The raids are awesome. The raids are awesome, but yeah. Yeah, that lighthouse, not the Feros one. Not that's where Siren is. The new lighthouse is the one where you fight Yazuma from 12, the secret like boss thing. That's in there at the end, which I found was just insane because it's like, what does this have to do with? Well, not really. The first raid, of the story was all tactics bosses. The second raid is 12. So I don't know what the third raid's gonna be, because the only thing left would be the third raid. I'm thinking the third raid might end up just being advanced, tactics advanced, which would just make no real sense either. Because it's like, I don't know how they're doing this. I want to know what's going to happen with Omega though. I want to know what happens with Omega, the Omega storyline. That's all I care about. Cuz a lot of us are hoping that they don't do 7 as the next pair of bosses. Cuz we know if they do that, they're going to put Sephiroth in, and it's just going to be like, why? Oh, I play Monk, and I was hoping that I could, like, limit break the train, and that would happen. But sadly, no. No, instead, what they give you what is worse. Because they, like, at the end of... Once you beat the train, they show that cutscene with, Sion's wife and child. It's like, oh, thanks for the feels. Thanks for the feels, game. That's just what I needed after that. Yeah. Which is crazy, because it's like, you go to Doma, and then you see a reference from Doma. From the old Doma, and it's like, are they connected? So we need 2 more, well, maybe not. Hang on, let me see what I got here. What do we need? Digimon and... Yeah, if you look closely at, like, Final Fantasy XIV, you'll see a lot of references from other games. Honestly, I really hope, I think it would make more sense if the final, if the final set was FF9. Kuja would be perfect for that. Because you can fight him in normal mode, and then in Savage, you could fight his transform, which would be so amazing. Okay, I'm gonna say real quick. Oh yeah, that is true. They would still need. I don't think we're gonna. I feel like personally we're never gonna fight Omega. He'll run. He's gonna run. Well, wait a sec, because I think what it is, it'll be 4, right? It'll be 4 whole storylines, plots for it. Because that's what the other one was, right? Or a 12. I think. How many was... Omega was 3, right? I mean, Alexander was 3. Yeah. like third. I don't know. I don't know how they. I don't know what to. I don't know what. So that would mean that when the third part of the story comes out. Okay, so that would mean that this would be technically the final part of the story. Which means the last boss, it would have to circulate around Omega. Like, all the bosses would have to circulate around him. So that would mean no... I really don't know what boss to circulate. It's just so... All I can say is, as long as there is no FF7... As long as Sephiroth doesn't appear, then everything's fine. Because I am so sick of the Final Fantasy VII hype nonsense. Abe would be good. Yeah, Abe would be awesome. Fighting Ultimacia? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, our quiz in Alexander. And besides, we got stuff from 7 anyway. We got the Scorpion Guard from 7, the Knights of the Round from 7. What else did we get from it? Because those are the two main ones that I know. Can I have my 2 medals, please? Can I have my Flybeamon and Yasamon, please? Can you stop giving me Ice Devilmons, please? Reapermons, just... Because I kind of wanted this done in an hour. Without running out of my money far too much. Of course, I wanted to get my trophies, so it's like, because I want to do this and get it over with because they announced another Digimon game that's coming out next year. Most likely, it's gonna come out in August, maybe, hopefully. That would be a fun game to play. But, it'd be fun to play that during next month. I mean, next year's August for Digimon month. It's called. Some people are worried about it, but I'm not. It's called Digimon Survive. And it's funny because the moment they heard that, they saw the name, everybody's like, "Oh no, it sounds like Metal Gear Solid, like Metal Gear Survive." But apparently, it's It's like visual novel. At least the story looks like it in that aspect. It's visual novel with, and the whole thing is like tactics RPG. It's like people are saying it's like playing. It would be like playing Fire Emblem apparently. Which is funny because I've never played a Fire Emblem game. But I'm interested because we're getting another Digimon game. That's all that matters to me. We're getting it on the PS4 also. It's actually going to be on everything. It'll be the first. It's going to be on Steam too. I think it's going to be the first Digimon game ever on PC. That makes sense. Whoa, 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 what the? Yeah. I don't think they're gonna go that far with it. With the permadeath. Besides, they're Digimon. Though, they just come back. So. I need items, I need to... There it is, there's one. Oh, I'm still missing, Nah, I'm pretty sure they'll most likely just... You're, like, the humans will stay in the back row. But the thing that's interesting me is, it's got a more darker tone. Like, apparently, it's like, really, like, gonna be a dark story. Because if it's called Digimon Survive, it must mean that it's about survival out in the digital world. Like, I guess a bunch of humans get trapped in the digital world, and it's like, well, people could die, get messed up. Oh, good. Oh, Tamers was amazing. It's actually my favorite one. Like, Tamers is actually my favorite. Because it set that dark tone. I wouldn't mind seeing a Digimon game with the return of D Reaper. Because D Reaper, like, the entire series of Tamers was like normal and like it wasn't dark or anything, and then Deep Reaper showed up and it's like, oh, it just threw everything out. It threw everything out the window. It's like, no, we're gonna make this as twisted as possibly can. Like taking control of Jarian's, taking control of her, and wow, it's. I felt like I was watching a horror series at that moment. It's like, yeah. It's funny because some people think that like a remnant, a small piece of the D Reaper still lives inside of Jerry, and one day it might take over again. Yet no one knows. Like the other characters don't know about it. This is, by the way, this is the last machine. Gigasudramon, no thanks. Krabbymon. At least we can get this all done right here and now. I'm glad about that. Tamamon red. Also, the movie was like the Digimon the movie was kind of lame. Like I was excited about it when I was younger, but then I watched it like a couple years ago, and I was like, this is actually kind of like not amazing as I thought it is. It's weird because you watch things as a kid, and you get all excited, and it's like you don't know what's going on really in it, and you just don't care. It's Digimon. It's like, oh, but then you sit down as an adult and watch it, and you go, what the heck? None of this makes sense. Like none of the plot. Because once you're an adult, you watch a movie and things or anything, it's got to make sense to you, or else it's not in. At least for me, it's got to make sense. Yeah, the Angela Anaconda short, that's before the actual movie made. I don't even know why that was there. I mean, I kind of do because they were promoting her series around that time. Because her series came out a little bit after, like before the movie, so they were promoting that. The only problem is, like, it wasn't that great of a. It's not that good of a show. It's actually horrible. It's bad because I sat and watched it and I couldn't stomach like 10 minutes of it because it was like, what is this? Like an interesting series that I have, like I sat down and actually watched as of late, is Steven Universe. Yes, it's a cartoon, but it's like at first it's like you think you're just watching a random cartoon, and then next thing you know, it's like it's got a plot line and story that's just sitting in front of you after a while, and it turns into that. Like Steven Universe, what was another one? What else do I want? Star versus the Forces of Evil. It's kind of weird that cartoons now are actually turning into actual like story like story plot series and things. Before, cartoons were just random stuff, just random episodes that happen, and you could just play them out of sync and order. But now it's like you can't do that with cartoons nowadays. It's gotta be it's gotta be shown in order. Another one's like Gravity Falls. Another one. Oh god, Ghost in the Shell, Stan. I watched that several times and I still didn't know what was going on. Okay, this is going a lot smoother than I thought. Maybe I should go watch it again this time. Because I watched it when I was a teenager. And then I watched it again before I was like... Before I was like a little bit after 21. So I wonder if I watch it this time if I'll understand what was going on. I think this time I will because I'm watching it on my terms, which means I can take my time with it. And see everything at once instead of just waiting like once a week for an episode, and by that time I forget what's going on. I think the longest series I've ever kept up with, well, there's actually two of them. The longest that I've ever kept up with and knew what was really going on a lot of the time was Supernatural and Doctor Who. I even went all the way back to like the 1970s, I think, or it might be even further, 1960s and things, to watch all that. And I know that a lot of people aren't ready for the new season because it's like, oh, it's a female character. It's like, it's the Doctor still. Because even the Doctors admitted, like, Time Lords are above, like, pretty much Time Lords are above race and gender. Because of the fact that they change, they always, like, they always change at things. Oh wow, NCIS is... I've not seen everything for NCIS and I still somehow know what's going on in that. I only need 4! 4, guys! Well, let me see if I have them. Because you never know. Lucifer? I want to see that series. I saw, like... I've seen, like, bits and pieces of it. From, like, YouTube videos and things, and it's like... It looks really interesting, but it's like... At the same time, it's... They kind of... Didn't they stop the series, though? Because the last thing I remember from that series is, like... The last thing I heard was, like... Like, Lucifer's mother is free. Like... Which is just... Which made me go, what? Like, run that by me again? His mother? That was the last thing I heard. And the late, like, that was like, I think at the end of like season 2. Eh. Then at like the end of season 3, apparently, like the female detective has finally seen Lucifer's true face and form, and now they're like, "What are we gonna do now?" Yeah. It's just weird to hear that, though. It's like, like, Lucifer's mom. Like, wouldn't that be the mother of all the archangels? Or in this case, the mother of all angels? And she was sealed in hell? Like, I mean, it's like, is this a? It makes you wonder: is this a conscious decision, or was this her choice to stay there, or was she sealed away because bad things? And it's like, is this why Lucifer's in actual hell? Because it would make more sense. It's like Lucifer's put in hell not because he's evil, but because he needs to keep an eye on like his mom. Because apparently, kind of like when you send your mom, like kind of like when you send your parents at last to the old folks home. That's what hell is, the old folks home for Lucifer's mom, I guess. You gotta watch over her until the very end. Done with this. I only need 2 more. Oh wait, I only need 1 more. Oh goody. Yeah, because that's sad. See now, okay, the rebellion, it's like, okay, it would make sense to put him there. But yeah, I noticed that too, that it's kind of weird because I'm the kind of person that has like read about things about Lucifer and God in the Bible and things. And the fun thing I keep going back to is like, if Lucifer's actually evil, why doesn't he just stop running hell altogether and just let all the damn souls run wild, crazy up here? Like, close the doors to hell and just let no one in, and just let chaos just run around here. I mean, like I said, there's something going on that's like we don't have the full story, I feel, of what's really going on. Because it's been quite a long time. I'm pretty sure everyone, like, Heaven and Hell are kind of tired of like the drama fest between Lucifer and God. And I'm sure those two are probably tired of it too, so it's like, Like, wait, the thing is, you gotta remember too, the Bible's been rewritten so many times. So it's like 10 years from now, we could probably rewrite it again and put something else in that's completely... It's like... Yeah. That's why it's kind of hard for me to deal with religion, because it's like I've got questions to things that nobody really wants to answer. It's like, because there's quite a few questions I have that would pretty much get me in trouble. So. Because one of the big questions is, it's like, one of the questions is, what are we going to do about religion when we find out there's life on other planets and they believe in stuff? They believe in their own religions and things. Because you can't go to another world and shove your religion in their face, in an alien race's face. That'll get you in trouble. It doesn't matter which religion it is. That will get you in trouble. Because I'm one of the people that believe there's other life out there. They just choose not to come around here because they probably already think we're insane and don't want us to be part of the universe. And that was the last. That's the last one. That's the last medal. Got it. Yay. Yay, we did it. Oh boy. Well, I can say this much: if the Christian sects that do that, like try to shove it down alien face, they better hope that the alien forces don't have like the aliens don't have like giant death rays that can destroy planets, because that's probably what they'll do, is probably destroy the world.